Good evening and welcome to the evening news. My name is Moturayo Ayegbayo. The International Monetary Fund has said Nigeria's plan on whether to remove petrol subsidy or not remains a political and domestic decision. Speaking at the Sub-Saharan African Regional Economic Outlook press conference in Washington, the director, IMF's African Department, Abebe Salise, said Nigeria spends so much on petrol subsidy rather than health and educational sectors. Salise said growth in Sub-Saharan Africa is expected to slow to 3.6%, tied to the drying up of aid and access to private finance in the region. He added that if no measures are taken, the shortage of funds may force countries to reduce fiscal resources for critical development like health, education, and infrastructure, holding it back from developing its true potential. He called for consolidation of public finances and strengthening financial management, containing inflation and align exchange rates to adjust. The Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Jesus, has called for joint action between communities and the health system to bring tuberculosis under control. She made the call during a news conference. He noted that the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, universal health coverage, and primary health care agendas all recognize community empowerment as vital process in helping to make TB a policy priority and to support the efforts. The WHO launched the new DG flagship initiative to end tuberculosis. He said that nearly 40% of the 10.6 million people with tuberculosis were not receiving the healthcare services they needed, saying effort to bring TB under control has been hampered by the COVID-19 pandemic and conflict in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. The Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, George Akume, said the federal government has plans to establish a National Council of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs for Sustainable National Development. Akume revealed this at the 3-day Stakeholders Conference on Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs in Abuja, themed Harnessing Grassroots Potentials for Service Delivery and for Sustainable National Development, the Proper Place of Local Government, Administration and Intergovernmental Relations. The minister said that the National Council, if established, will be the highest policy advisory body to the nation on issues of special duties and intergovernmental affairs. He noted that the absence of a critical structure or vehicle of mobilization of stakeholders for prompt action has hindered the pace of the ministry in discharging its activities. Meanwhile, the ministry's permanent secretary, Ipina Roberts, expressed hope that the discussions will help birth a successful National Council. The governing body of the Nigeria Immigration Service has served a retirement notice to the acting Controller General of the service, Issa Idris. The board cited the expiration of the one-year extension of service granted by President Muhammadu Buhari, directing the CGI Major General to hand over to most senior Deputy Controller General on or before April 24. It appreciated Idris for his immense contributions to the Nigerian Immigration Service and to the country and wishes him success in his future endeavors. Service to humanity will forever be the watchword of Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke. Secretary to the State Cabinet, Honorable Teslim Igbalaye, stated this while coordinating the distribution of prizes to winners at a Ramadan program, Al-Quran, sponsored by the Governor. Honorable Igbalaye will describe the concept of leadership as the ability to remember the followers and attend to their needs. Said Governor Adeleke has demonstrated sterling leadership qualities embedded with humanity and generosity, explaining that the present administration will do all within its reach to make life more bearable for residents of the state. The secretary to the state government assured that the ongoing road projects and other beneficial programs of the past administrations will not be neglected. Speaking at the grand finale of the prize distribution, the Director General Osbc, Mr. Rashid Folarami, who was represented by the Director of Corporate Affairs, Mr. Olushola Bolaji, described the gesture of Governor Adeleke as laudable. He urged others in positions of authority to emulate the governor in service to humanity. Residents of Osogbo have been called upon to join in the fight against illicit meters, also known as energy theft, that hampers the power distribution company to function as expected. The Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, Osun State Regional Head Engineer Tony Adenisoye made a call at the IBEDC stakeholders meeting and sensitization program held in Osogbo, Osun State. Speaking in a welcome address, the Osun State IBEDC Regional Head Engineer called on stakeholders to join them in the fight to wipe out the use of illicit meters and the dangers involved in the use of the meters within the state. Osun State has an active usage of over 12,000 illicit meters amounting to over 120 million naira monthly loss for the distribution company, but legal punishment still awaits prosecutors of the legal activity. And out to sports. WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury has dismissed rumors of a four-man tournament featuring himself and Anthony Joshua. The JPOI's king has yet to step in the ring this year after months of negotiations with Usyk over an undisputed fight collapsed, with both sides failing to reach an agreement. It was earlier suggested that negotiations were underway for a four-man tournament featuring Fury, who would face Usyk, while Joshua could step in the ring with Deontay Wilder on the same night. Wilder's trainer Malik Scott confirmed the negotiations with Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn, as he admitted that Saudi Arabia had expressed interest in the idea. The four-man tournament will be a hugely appealing night for fans and could have finally led to Joshua's long-awaited British grudge match with Fury if both men came through the proposed difficult test. And coming from the foreign scene, Russia has launched a drone attack on Ukraine's southern port city of Odessa, but there were no immediate reports of casualties. Head of the Odessa District Military Administration, Europe, said in a statement that Russia carried out an attack by UAVs of the Side 136 type on the Odessa region. Court said Ukraine's air defenses destroyed most of the attacking drones, but some civilian infrastructure was hit. According to preliminary information, there were no casualties and measures were being taken to contain the fire. Units of the State Emergency Service and other structures were working on the spot. This hit 136, a small Iranian to set up GPS coordinates with a payload of explosives. It was gathered that Russia's drone industry has been hit by international sanctions, and a number have been shut down since the start of the war, prompting Moscow to import drones from Iran. And that ends the evening news on Osbc TV. Join us at 7 for the major reports. Thank you for watching. Good evening.